Okay. Good morning, all. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So yesterday we have seen simplex algebraic method. Okay. The same method, how to solve it using tabular form. So that is also equivalent to algebraic method. Okay. So the tabular method that we are going to discuss today. So it is called a simplex tabular method. And keep one thing in mind that simplex algorithm, okay, it's a table based algorithm. Okay, so yesterday whatever the example that we did, how many iterations were there? Total, how many iterations were there to get the answer? Okay, okay, fine. So 3 or 4 you are saying, right? So fine. So I mean, if you see the initial simplex table, there are three tables. I mean, there are three iterations are there. Okay. So fine. So the same thing is going to be addressed in the tabular method. Let us see how. Okay. So I'm taking the same problem so that we know the answer and everything. So it becomes easy to understand. Same problem I'm taking. Maximize 10x1 plus 9x2 subject to 3x1 plus 3x2 less than equal to 21, 4x1 plus 3x2 less than equal to 24. And then the same process, that first step is the same. I add the slack variables. X3 and X4 are called the slack variables. Okay. I make it as an equation x1, x2, x3, x4 greater than equal to 0. And I also write the slack variables in an objective function. So 0x3, 0x4 means x3 and x4's coefficients are 0. These are the coefficients. X1's coefficient in objective function is 10. So now let us see how to prepare the first table, which is called initial simplex table. Okay. So, so this is the design of initial tables. Let us see one by one how to prepare this. So first of all, you write down every variable. Okay, in first you prepare like a table. The first column is like C, D. Okay, I'm telling you the meaning. Then second is XP. Okay, so whatever is XB, which means a basic variable. Okay, XB stands for a basic variable. Okay, so basic variable stands for XP. So initially, you know what were the basic variables? The slack in the first iteration, X3 and X4. Okay, they are the basic variables, and other, that is X1 and X2, are non-basic variables that you know. Okay, so what I do, I write this under XP column, I write X3, X4. Okay, now what is CB? That is a coefficient of basic variable in objective function. Okay, so you see objective function, this is an objective function, and you, if you see the coefficients, they are 0, 0, right? This is 0 and this is also 0. So both the coefficients are 0, 0, that I write. Okay, so this is called initial simplex table. Okay, so now what I write, I make those many columns as I have the variables total. So you see, I have total 4 variables, x1, x2, x3, x4. So I create 4 columns, x1, x2, x3, x4. There is a right hand side equals to, after equals to whatever is there, that is RHS, that is RHS, under RHS. Okay, so how will you write this? So see, 2 things you need to observe. In objective function, it is 10, 9, 0 and 0. Okay, that is 10, 9, 0, 0. Okay, so that I am writing x1, x2, x3, x4. I'm writing here. Okay, 10, 9, 0, 0. What are that? They are the coefficient of objective functions. Now, how to represent this constraint? These constraints are represented as, so you see, it is 3x1 plus 3x2 plus x3. There is no x4. So x4's coefficient is 0. So under x1, I write 3. Okay. Under x1, I write 3. That is this 3. Under x2 also, I write 3. Under x3, its coefficient is 1, right? So 1. There is no x4. So I write 0. And right hand side is 21, which means 21. Okay. So then again 4, 3. Now there is no x3, so 0. 4, 3. x3's term is 0. Term is coefficient is 0 in constraint, and x4 is 1. Right hand side is 24. Okay. Okay, so x1, x3, x3, x4, right hand side, basic variable column and coefficient of basic variable, x3 and x4 are 0 because these two are 0. Okay. So remember, this is how I prepare the initial table for maximization type of problem. It is not a for all problems. Suppose minimization is there. So in next lecture, we will see how to solve this minimization type of problem. There is a little modification required. Okay. So this way you have to create. Remember, I am talking about maximization type of problem with less than equal to type of constraints. Okay. And all are non-negative. Okay. And what to do? Initially, slack variables are the entering variables. So what are the initial entering variables? X3 and X4 means they are basic and other two are non-basic. So X3 and X4 are the basic variables. Okay. So now you see, now there is a, so everybody is clear up to this? Ratio and other calculations are followed, but yes, fine. Okay. So what is Zj? Z subscript j. Now Z subscript j is actually a dot product of this CB. You treat CB as a vector and you treat the columns as vector. So you take 3, 4. 3, 4 is one vector, 0, 0 as one vector. Okay, what is the dot product of two vector? Let me say 1, 2 dot 3, 4. What is the answer? Dot product of two vector. This is one vector. Vector means one dimensional array kind of thing. And I am doing a dot product of that. What will be the answer? What you have to do? First element you have to multiply. So 1 into 3, right? And the second element you have to multiply. So 2 into 4. So 3 plus 8, okay, and which is 11. Okay, so 1, 2 is one vector, okay, and this yes, 3, 4 is another vector. So the see, remember, for dot product to for doing dot product, the number of elements in both the vectors should be same. Okay, so 1, 2, first element is 1 and 3, multiply them, so 3. 2 and 4 is the second element, multiply them, so 8. Then you add all those elements. Then 3 plus 8 would be 11. Everybody is clear? Smith, Rishi, and others like Chintan, Kushal, Dev. Yes. Okay. So this is dot product is always a scalar. Scalar means a value like 5, 10, 11, minus 5, etc. Okay. So now, so you do a dot product of this 0, 0 with this 3, 4. Definitely, if one of the vector is 0, 0, its multiplication with any is 0 and you can add it, so it will be 0. So Zj is nothing but a dot product of what? This CB and this column. Okay, so 0, 0, 3, 4. So it's like this. 0, 0 is one vector, 3, 4 is another vector. And if you do a dot product, 0 into 3 plus 0 into 4, which is a 0. Because this is 0, 0, everything will be 0. Same way you have to do for the second column, third column, fourth column. And you see RHS also I am doing 0 into 21 plus 0 into 24, which is 0. Okay. So this is Zj. This is the term Zj. Okay, first, let me tell you the procedure. Afterwards, we'll see how it is related. Okay. So then what I need to do, I need to find out something known as a Cj minus Zj. So what is Cj? Cj's are the coefficient of that particular variable. So this column is for x1. So the coefficient of x1 in objective function is 10. So 10 minus 0, Zj is 0, 10 minus 0 is 10. Then 9 minus 0 is 9. Basically everything same, right? 10, 9, 0, 0. Because if you subtract 0, nothing will change. 10, 9, 0, 0. Okay. So this would be the Cj minus Zj. Now I want to mention one thing. If you read different books or if you find different literature, there are various ways. All are correct. Okay. So I mean, this is one of the way, and we'll follow this way. Okay. If you find some other alternative good way, which will be equivalent to this way. Okay. So here I am going to find Cj minus Zj. Sometimes in some books, if you do, they find Zj minus Cj. Okay. But effectively, the goal is same. The procedure remains same. Okay. So Cj minus Zj you do, and you get 10, 9, 0, 0. So the next question, okay, what we were doing earlier is we have what basic variables? X3 and X4. Out of these basic variables, one of the variable has to leave, and one of the variable, non-basic variable, has to enter to the solution. So for that, we use this Cj minus Zj. Okay, so what is this Cj minus Zj? Cj minus Zj indicates, okay, this value 10, 9, 0, 0, and I find the maximum value out of that. So which is the maximum? So you see this 10 is a maximum. So I will enter the corresponding variable. So 10 is in which column? It is in the x1 column. So what I want is x1 is the variable which needs to be entered. That needs to be entered. Okay. So that's why I draw an ellipse kind of thing over 3, 4. This column. Okay. So x1 will enter. Why x1 will enter? Because Cj minus Zj, okay, that is C1 minus Z1, okay, is highest. So we find the maximum Cj minus Zj, okay, and we try to enter it. So the corresponding column is known as a key column. Okay, the corresponding column is known as a key column, which I drawn as in ellipse. Okay, so now there are two candidates, X3 and X4. Which out of these two can leave? Okay, for that I find a ratio. So how to find the ratio? So you see ratio is the theta. I'll relate this, okay, with the yesterday's method. Okay, so this 21 and 24 is there. Okay, so what I done? 21 divided by 3, it's 7. And this 24 divided by 4, which is 6. Okay, so now let us try to relate it. Okay, yesterday you have seen this. Okay, and in yesterday's method, I tried what? I chose x1 to increase. Why? Because 10x1. So x1's coefficient is highest. So I want to increase there, and that's why my objective is to increase x1. Same way, here also, this x1 is going to enter. You can see 10, the highest value of Cj minus Zj is 10. And so that variable, that corresponding variable is going to enter to the solution. Okay. Same way, which variable should leave? So then I explained you that if you increase x1, there is a certain limit, okay, beyond which you cannot increase. So you see, yesterday I told you that you can increase maximum up to 6, because minimum out of 7 and 6, okay, this cannot be negative. X3 and X4 cannot be negative. So the same reason, okay. So this is a limiting value. Theta indicates the limiting value. So 21 by 3 is 7 and 24 by 4 is 6. Okay. So the variable with minimum ratio is the one which will leave. Okay. So this is a limiting constraint, right? So you can increase x1 maximum up to 6. You cannot increase up to 7. Otherwise, the constraint would be violated. So the variable x4, okay, is something which is going to leave the solution. And the x1 is something which is going to enter the solution. That's why this is called entering variable E, x1, and this x4 is going to leave the solution. Okay. So how to read this? So you see how to read this. So I have to read what is the solution now. Right now I say x3 is equal to 21. This is my solution. So I write like this. You take RHS value 21 and basic variable value. So x3 is 21, x4 is 24. Because x3 and x4 are basic, that's why I am getting those values. Okay, which means definitely x1 and x2 are non-basic, which means z is equal to 0. Which means z is equal to 0. And you know that this is a feasible solution. X1 and x2 both have 0, but you have to read it like this: x3 equal to 21, x4 equal to 24. And what is the z? You have to see this column, z, and this one, this is 0. Okay, 0 into 21 plus 0 into 24, that is also 0. So that's why z is equal to 0. This is how you have to read. And one important thing I want to tell you, this is a key column, okay, corresponding to entering variable, and the corresponding to leaving variable is called a key row. So there is a key column, okay, which is corresponds to the entering variable, and there is a key row which corresponds to leaving variable. Okay, so here entering variable is x1 and leaving variable is x4. Okay, and so at the intersection of this key row and key column, there is something known as a pivot. Okay, so what is a pivot here? Can anybody tell me what is an intersection of this key row? Up to RHS you have to consider 4, 3, 0, 1, 24. This is the key column 3, 4. So at the intersection of both, I have what? 4. So this 4 is known as a pivot element, or other names are a key element or key values. Okay, so pivot, so these are the same things: pivot or key, or you say pivot element or key element or key value, rather these are the same thing. Okay, so now what you have to do, okay, so divide the row. This you can see this is a key row. Divide the key row by the pivot element. Okay, so what I get is pivot is 4. So if you divide this by 4, 4 by 4 is 1, 3 by 4, 0, 1 by 4 and 6, 24 by 4 up to RHS. Okay, up to RHS. So that will make 4 by 4 is 1, 3 by 4, 0, 1 by 4 and 6. So and now you see, if you have seen carefully, earlier under basic variable there were x3, x4. Now under basic variable we have x3 and x1. Why? Because x1 is a variable which is going to enter. So x1 is a variable which is going to enter to the solution, and that's why x1 is entered. And now you see I also changed CB, because x3's coefficient in objective function is 0, but x1's coefficient in objective function is what? 10. x3 has 0. Right? So I have written like this: 0, 10, x3, x1. And then what I did is I divide the key row by pivot. Okay, and then I constructed this particular entry, second entry. So second entry is, I think everybody is clear. Okay, second row is clear. Okay, so now what we need to do, okay, I have to fill the first row also. This is like a Gauss elimination method that you are doing in a matrix theory, right? So this is similar method. So how to compute this one? Okay, so for that, if you know the Gauss elimination, you can perform that way. But there is a simple formula which can be used. So understand this: new value is equal to old value minus key row corresponding element in the key row multiplied by corresponding element in the key column divided by the key value. Key value means a pivot. Okay, so let us try to understand this formula. So for other entries I am talking, right? So let us talk about particular entry like here. This is other entry, right? So here what to put? Okay, so I have to see my table. This is my original table. Okay, you see, this is old value is 3. So old value is 3. If you see corresponding key row element, so you see in the same if you see the key row, okay, so in the same row, same row, this is the element. Sorry, in key row, this is the element corresponding to this element. Okay, so corresponding to 3, this is the 3. So if you have this 1, this 0 would be a key row element. Okay, same way this 3 will be key column element. Remember, for 1, 0 is the row element and 3 is the column element. Okay, same way for 0, 1 is the row element, 3 is the column element. Okay, you have to just look in the same row and same column. Okay, so this is this 0, so then you have to see in the same column 1 and this 3. Okay, in the pivot row and pivot column you have to see, and you have to multiply them. Okay, so we are talking about this. So the key row corresponding key row element is 3, key column element is 3. So 3 into 3 divide by 4. What is 4? Pivot or key value. And you have to subtract this from old value. So old value is what? This is an old value, 3. So 3 minus 9 by 4, okay, that is 3 minus 9 by 4, this is this value, okay, first row second element, that value I am computing. So old value minus corresponding key element in the row, corresponding key element in the column, divide by pivot. So 3 minus 9 by 4 is 3 by 4. So hence I have to put here 3 by 4. I have to put here what? 3 by 4 that I have shown in this. This is 3 by 4. Okay, so now you just tell me what will be the value over here. You just tell me what will be the value over here. This is the old value 1. what will be the new value? Keval, Yash, Urjit, can you tell me what will be the new value? New value, what is the for 1 only? Why? Because you see there is a 0 and 0 is very easy. 0 into something is always 0. So 1 minus 0 is 1. So it remains same. So if either the corresponding key row element or key column element is 0, no need to do anything. Just old value needs to be copied. So this remains 1 only. Okay, for this entry, first row, fourth column, this entry, what is the answer? What is the new value? Yes, correct, very correct. Sorry, Smith, I think there is a mistake. 0, you see like this, you have to see. 0 is the old value. Okay, in corresponding key row element is 1. So 0 minus 1. Corresponding key column element is 3. 1 into 3 divide by pivot is 4. So 0 minus 3 by 4 is minus 3 by 4. Everybody getting this? Urjit, Yash, Smith. Yes? Okay. Fine. So this will be minus 3 by 4. Very correct. Okay, you have to also change this entry. 21. What will be the new value of 21? Anybody? It will be 21 minus what? 21 minus corresponding key row, 24 value. Corresponding key column value, 3. Divide by pivot. So 4, 6 are 24. 21 minus 18, which is equal to 3. So this value will be 3. So you see, I get 3 by 4. As it is 1, then you told me minus 3 by 4 and this value 3. Now you see, this is interesting, but this is 0. Okay, and it is definitely 0 because I mean, if you take the 3 minus, you take this value, this is the old value, right? So 3 minus corresponding key row is 4, right? And corresponding key element, column element is itself 4 into 3 divide by pivot 4. So 4 gets cancelled. So 3 minus 3, which is what? Equals to 0. What does it mean? So this type of elements are 0. Okay, you can apply the formula and hence in this new entry, this is 0, 3 by 4, 1 minus 3 by 4, 3. Okay, this is just a division by 4. Second row was divided by 4. So x1 entered and x4 left. Coefficients are 0 and 10. Yes, okay. There is okay. That's fine. Are you able to hear me, Urjit? Or no? That's fine. Okay. So I hope others are getting up to this. Okay. That's fine. You can change the place. Okay. So this up to this the entries are there. Okay. These are not going to change. 10, 9, 0, 0. You find Zj. Can anybody tell me Zj? What will be the values of Zj? Now it's not 0, 0, right? X1's coefficient is 10, so 0, 10. This is one vector. This is another vector. 0 into 0 plus 10 into 1. So it will be 10. Here it will be 10. I am talking about Zj. Zj. Okay. Then 0 into 3 by 4 plus 10 into 3 by 4. So it is 30 by 4, which is 15 by 2. Okay. This is 15 by 2. Same as 0 into 1 plus 10 into 0. So which will be 0? What we are doing is just a dot product of this 0, 10 with this 0, 1. I get 10. 0, 10 with this. Okay. 3 by 4, 3 by 4, which I get 30 by 4, which is 15 by 2. Here I get 0. 0 into minus 3 by 4, 0. 10 into 1 by 4, 10 by 4. 0 into 3, 0. 10 into 6, 60. And if you recall, in the second iteration, our answer went from 0, 0 to 60, right? In iteration number 2, in the algebraic method that we discussed yesterday. Okay. And so this was a 60. You can also see, okay, it is 1 by 4 by formula. Okay. Okay, x3. So you are talking about this value. Okay, x3 value. Okay. So x3 value is here, it is 1, and corresponding key row element is 0. So 1 minus 0 into 3 by 4. So 1 minus 0, so it will be 1. Are you getting what I am saying, Ronak? Are you asking for that only? Okay, okay. But getting na everyone, others. Yes. Okay. Fine. So that way you have to divide. Fine. So I get this one. Okay. And now you see this 3 and 6 up. These entries are clear to you, right? And I find 10, 30 by 4, 10 by 4, and you see 60 in ZJ. Now you find CJ minus ZJ. So you see 10 minus 10, 0. 9 minus 30 by 4, which is 6 by 4. 9 minus 30 by 4, which is 36, minus 30 by 4, which is 6 by 4. Okay. This is, then 0 minus 0, it's 0. 0 minus 10 by 4, it's minus 10 by 4. Okay. And now you see what is the candidate for entering variable? Yes, highest value of Cj minus Zj. So what is entering variable? X2, very correct. Yes, Kushal. So this is a key column. This is an entering variable. This is going to enter to the solution. Okay. So what is going to left the solution is, so what you have to do, right hand side divide by this key column values corresponding. So 3 divide by 3 divide by 4. 3 divide by, okay, 3 by 4, which means 4. Okay, which means 4. And 6 divided by 3 by 4. Okay, so 6 divided by 3 by 4 will be 6 into 4 by 3. So it will be 8. And you can see the minimum ratio is 4. You can see the minimum ratio is 4. So this is a entering variable x2, and which variable will exit? Kushal, Keval, Ronak, x3 will exit. Very correct. So x3 will leave the solution and x2 will enter the solution. Okay. And you see, this is x3 will leave and entering variable is x2, which means in place of this x3, you will have x2. Okay, so there will be x1, x2. Okay, can you tell me what is a pivot? What is a pivot value? This is a key because this is going to leave with the minimum ratio. So this is a key row, this is a key column. So 3 by 4 is a pivot value. What we have to do with the first column, Rishi? Smith, what we have to do with the first column? I mean, the column containing pivot, the row, the row containing the pivot. What we have to do? Divide by 3 by 4. So divide the entire row by 3 by 4. So what will happen? So divide by 3 by 4 means multiply by 4 by 3. You, it is easy to understand, right? So 0 will remain 0. 3 by 4 will become 1. 1 will become 4 by 3. Minus 3 by 4 will become minus 1. And this 3 will become 4. Okay. So 0, 1, 4 by 3, minus 1 and 4. Okay. And what about the other values? Okay. What about, I am indicating this value. What about this value? How this value will change? What will be the new value corresponding to this in the next table? I am highlighting this value. Second row, second column, this 3 by 4. What will happen to that value? That will become what? Can you say directly? 0. Very correct. How? You can understand that 3 by 4 is the old value, okay, minus corresponding key row and key column value. Okay. So you see 3. So what will happen? 3 by 4 minus, okay, for this value, this is the, yes, what should I write? 3 by 4 minus what? Why it is 0? Corresponding key row value and corresponding key column value. For 3 by 4, what is the corresponding key row value? 3 by 4 itself. And what is the corresponding key column value? It is also 3 by 4. Are you getting me? For this value, this is a key column, right? And this is the same key row is and key column. Both are 3 by 4. Divide by pivot is 3 by 4. Again. So 1 3 by 4 cancels out and 3 by 4 minus 3 by 4 becomes 0. And so this value will be 0. Okay. Rishi, are you getting this is 0? I mean, yes. Okay, fine. Fine. And same way other values. So can please help me to fill this table. Okay. You tell me this second row first entry 1. For 1, what will be the new value? For 1, what will be the new value, Janil? No, it's not 3 by 4, Janil. It's 1. How? You see, 1 is the old value minus corresponding key row value and corresponding key column means you have to see this key row. This is a key row. In key row, which value is associated with 1? 0. So 0. Key column value 3 by 4. Okay, 0 into 3 by 4. Okay, divide by 3 by 4. Doesn't matter. Okay, 1 minus 0 into something is 0. So 1 minus 0 is 1. So this entry will remain same. Okay. 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 Please help me to find out this value. What is the new value corresponding to the second row, third column? Second row, third column. 0. Any answer? 0 minus corresponding key row value is 1, corresponding key column value is 3 by 4. So 0 minus 1 into 3 by 4 divide by pivot, that is 3 by 4. 3 by 4 cancels out, and 0 minus 1, which will be minus 1. Very correct. Okay. Then please help me to find out for 1 by 4. What is the value? New value for a second row, fourth column. 1 by 4 minus, okay, corresponding key row value, okay, which is minus 3 by 4. This is first row is a key row, minus 3 by 4 is a corresponding key row value, plus 3 by 4 is a corresponding column value, right? For this is a corresponding key row value, this is a corresponding key column value, divide by what? Divide by pivot 3 by 4. So which will cancel 3 by 4, 3 by 4, and 1 by 4 minus 3 by 4, which will be plus 3 by 4, which will be 1. Okay, so I get 1 over here, minus 1 over here, 0 and 1 over here. I hope these 4 entries are clear. And the last entry, this 6, okay, 6 will become what? 6 will become 6 minus 3 into 3 by 4 by 3 by 4, which means 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3, which will be 3. Okay, so this value will become 3. Okay. Yes, everybody got the calculations? Yes, this is also important to understand the calculations. Yes. Yes, I can repeat the last one. Okay. Last one is this. So this is 6. Okay. This is an old value, right? 6. What is the corresponding key row value? 3. In key row, first is a key row. So corresponding to 6, the value is 3. Corresponding to 6, key column is this. Value is what? 3 by 4. So it is 3 into 3 by 4. Divide by pivot. So this is 3 by 4. So this 3 by 4 gets cancelled out. So it just remains 6 minus 3. So which is 3. Okay. So that way it is 3. Okay. And hence I get the entire. So I want to clear the calculation part because this is very important. Okay. And later on I will not explain every step. Okay. So that's why. So then there is a ZJ. Okay. And now you apply the same step. You take a dot product 9, 10, 0, 1. So 9 into 0 plus 10 into 1. So 10. 9, 10 and 1, 0. Take a dot product of these two vectors. 9 into 1 plus 10 into 0. 9. 9 into 4 by 3 plus 10 into minus 1. So 9 into 4 by 3 is 36 by 3, which is 12. 12 minus 10 is 2. 9 into minus 1 minus 9 plus 10, which is 1. 9 into 4, 36. 10 into 3, 30. 36 plus 30, 66. And you find Cj minus Z. So 10 minus 10, 0. 9 minus 9, 0. 0 minus 2, minus 2. 0 minus 1, minus 1. And now you see, I don't have any variable to enter. This is a terminating criteria. When all Cj minus Zj are less than or equal to 0, which means I reach to terminating. And now I cannot enter any variable because it is negative, and even if I enter, there is no benefit out of it. So that this is a terminating criteria, that when, so remember, when Cj minus Zj less than equal to 0 for all j, okay, we reached to solution. What is a solution? You read how you will read? x2 is equal to RHS is what? 4. x1, what is RHS? 3. What is the objective value? 66. This you know, right? 10 into 4 plus 10x1 plus 9x2. So 10 into 4, okay? Sorry, 9 into 4, 9 into 4 plus 10 into 3. So 36 plus 30, which is 66. Okay, so x2 is equal to 4, x1 is equal to 3, and z is equal to 26, which is an objective value. Is the calculative part, yes, very correct, Yash. Calculative part clear? Yes, there are approx 90 students. Is the calculative part clear? Everybody? Yes. So these are the iterations in which we progress. Let us try to correlate this thing with the yesterday's method. I want to show you something, okay? So if you have noticed something, okay, you carefully observe this third table. You carefully observe this second table. There is Cj minus Zj 0. Here it is under x1 and under x4. Sorry, not under x1 and x3 it is 0. Cj minus z. Observe Cj minus Zj. It is 0 at x1, x3 in the second table. In the third table, if you see, if you notice, it is 0 under x1 and x2. Cj minus Zj is 0 under x1, x2. Same way, if you see the first table, it is 0, the first table, initial table. If you can see, then also you can see Cj minus Zj is 0 under x3, x4. So have you noticed something? Here it is at x3, x4. In second table, it is 0 at x1, x3. And in the last table, third table, it is 0 at x1, x2. Yes, very good observation that under basic variables, Cj minus Zj becomes 0. Okay, so you see here x2 and x1 are basic and you are getting Cj minus Zj 0. Here, right, x3 and x1 are basic, so under x1 and x3 you are having 0. And this must be satisfied, otherwise there is some mistake in your calculation. Okay, this way also you can verify. Same way, initially x3, x4 are basic, so they are 0. One more thing I want you to tell you. If you observe, under basic variable in the table, there is an identity matrix. What is identity matrix? Kushal, Janil, Janit. Yes, identity matrix. Yes, diagonal one, very correct. Yes. Yes, Rishi, but generally I think we use this 1, 0 in first row, 0, 1 in second row, that way. But yes, you can interchange the row and that way also is correct. Okay, so this is identity matrix. So you can see under basic variable x3, x4, you see there is an identity matrix in the first table. Also see in the second table x3 and x1. So under x3 there will be 1, 0. And then there is an x1, so it will be 0, 1. So you can see that it forms an identity matrix in some sense. x3 is a first, so and under x3 there will be 1, 0 in column. Under x1 there will be 0, 1 in the column. Same way, if you see the third table, x2, under x2 there will be 1, 0, and under x1 there will be 0, 1. See, this table can be large. Number of basic variables can be 3 if you have 3 constraints. Okay, so in that case there will be a 3 cross 3 identity matrix that will come in a picture. Are you observing this with me or not? Kushal, Yash, Rishi? Yes, Priyank? Getting this? Yes. I also suggest you practice this one more time whenever you are having some time. Okay. So remember, this is a way: initialization, progress, and termination. So let me quickly go through the second example. I will not show you the calculation. This is a different example which we haven't seen in the graphical method. Okay, maximize 6x1 plus 5x2, x1 plus x2 less than equal to 5. So this is a quite normal maximization type of problem. So same way I introduce a slack. I just want to tell you that you must know how to initialize the table. Initially, what you have to do, there are 4 variables. So there are 4 columns for that, RHS, theta. There is a column for basic variable, XB, and coefficient of basic variables. Initially, slacks are the basic variables. So put x3, x4 as basic. Their coefficient are 0, 0. So put 0, 0 here. 1, 1, 1, 0 from first constraint. 3, 2, 0, 1 from the second constraint. 5 and 12, the right hand side. Zj will be definitely 0. Without looking, you can take 0, 0, 0, 0. Why? Because this CB is 0, 0. So dot product will be 0. So Cj minus Zj. Cj, what is Cj? 6, 5, 0, 0. Okay. And 6 minus 0 and everything is same. So 6 minus. So what is that going to enter is 6. So remember, this is how you have to initialize the table. How do we make progress? I make a progress by finding maximum value of Cj minus Zj. So which is this x1. So x1 will enter. And how do I find the leaving variable? So I find the theta. Theta denotes what? Limiting value. Okay. So 5 divided by 1, 5. 12 divided by 3, it's 4. I will also tell you the scenarios when it is negative or 0. Okay, but that will be followed. This is simple case. Okay, how to read this? x3 equal to 5 RHS, x4 equal to 12. Okay, and this is profit is 0 because 0 into 5 plus 0 into 12, this is 0. This. So this is initial table. How you progress? You leave a variable corresponding to minimum ratio. So this 4 is minimum. So you leave this variable. So x4 will leave, x1 will enter. So this is a trick. Yes, minimum ratio rule. This is a minimum. This is called a minimum ratio rule. So entering the value with maximum Cj minus Zj and leave the corresponding variable which has a minimum ratio. Okay, and this way you do iterations. Subsequently you do iteration, and keep in mind under basic variables you must get 0, x3 x1. So x3 x1 Cj minus Zj should be 0 under basic variables, and you should have an identity matrix after doing calculations. Okay, then you see there is a progress of 24 from 0. I went 0 into 1 plus 6 into 4, 24. Okay, then again you do this when you will end. So when all Cj minus Zj becomes negative, okay, that is called a terminating condition, and then there is no way to progress. And at that point of time, how to read the solution? x2 is equal to 3, x1 is equal to 2, and what is the answer? 5 into 3, 15. 6 into 2, 12. 15 plus 12 is 27. That is an objective value, which is Z. Okay. So I hope you are getting this entire idea about how to initialize the table, how to progress with the help of Cj minus Zj and ratio, and how to know whether we reach to the solution or not, and also how to read the solution. Yes, am I saying correct? Are you getting this? Yes. Okay. Others, there are 70% approx. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, this is not as simple. Minimization problems will be having a lot of problems. Okay, unbounded problems, how to recognize them using table. Infeasible problems, how to recognize using table. We will see in the next week lectures. Okay, thank you so much. You can leave.